So this is Nick Prestipino and Shay Mullins briefing our deliverable 2-1 for the Terrorism database. So first we have our Terrorism database user interface here that has all the requirements required in the document. So first they can choose how they want to sort this data by either COCOM, country, or latitude, longitude. And then here's where they can select their COCOM, they can select their country, they can change their longitude, latitude, and the distance in between it. And finally, they can change the time frame of the data that they want to see the data through. So the first part of this was to do the latitude or longitude. So we can show you that through our this guy right here. So basically, this is the function that calculates. This was the function that was given that just calculates the distance between the two longitude and latitudes. And then here we have a subfunction. So we made a new column in our data, which I'll show you in a second. But basically, this was for putting in that new distance based on the kilometers. And here's kind of our code for that. So it just takes the distance and gets it in the right terms and then puts it into the row. It's better if I just show it to you. So it's in data right here. And then you can see we, next to the latitude, longitude, we had added a new distance column right here. So, and then after that, so using that, you can put in your latitude and longitude, so whatever you want. And then you can update the distance. Oh, that should have been 4,000. Alright, that's going to be on the... So we update our distance, just 4,000 kilometers, just so we make sure we have enough data in there. And then once this comes up, we'll be able to select lat and long, and then it will come up in, so we choose latitude, longitude, and the macro runs, and then this comes up in my data right here. So this is all the data there. And then we also added a function where you can just clear it real quick. So then it goes back to nothing, and you can change that from there, whatever you want. So we can go to something like 2,000 kilometers lat long, fills back up. So there's only one thing within that. The next is if we choose it to sort it by COCOM. So we can choose whatever. So first we can clear everything, choose a COCOM. So we'll go PACOM, and then choose that macro that's tied to this button here, and that gets put into my data. And then you can see here it's everything's PACOM. So go back, we can clear it, and finally we have country. So choose your country. It can be anything. I'm not sure if there's anything in Mexico, but choose country, and then we can see in my data. Yep. So we have stuff in all in the Mexico region. Then additionally, like the requirement said, it has to be within the time frame. So we can change this data to kind of whenever we want, and it'll just update that. I don't even know if anything will come up now. Oh. So still stuff in Mexico. So then here are the rest of our tabs. Like I said, so it's your data for the lat long, my data for the country and COCOM. We have the ability to clear everything, update everything, and then just our last sheets here are the data sheet, the COCOM sheet, just so we can reference stuff, countries, and then here is what we use to kind of reference everything. So I'll show you our VBA code right now, but basically we changed our dates to just numbers so they're easier to reference, and then we had them in between our two dates here, the numbered dates. And then we use these two in conjunction with either the country and these or the COCOM and these. And that's how we got the parameters for our functions, which are right here. So here's how we filtered the lat long distance. Basically, this is how we put it into, you can see here, your data. So we just took the range from sheet 2, which is the data. We took it from the criteria, which is the sheet 6, which is the sheet we have up here from A1 to A2. Basically, it's just the distance here. And then that will just copy into the your data, which how it gets into your data. Second, we have the next module, which is well, here we have my the clear data thing we made just to clear it so you can keep updating your data, and then using the developer record macro and then advanced data tool, we were just able to pretty easily record this info and put it, and all we really changed here was the range we put it into. The range we took our criteria from, which you can see here is either country and the dates or COCOM and the dates. That's how we did that, like that. And we put it into the my data sheet instead of your data sheet. Same thing with filtering the COCOM by data. We put it in my data sheet. The range is the same thing, B2 like that. So that's kind of the rest of our VBA code. It was just pretty much those three things, our two modules, and then our data for the distance lat long. And then, like I said, here's our database. It has all the requirements asked for, and we will send our sysml diagrams, the use case requirements, and internal block in a PowerPoint definition in a future email. All right, thank you, sir.